Uh-oh, Gideon just said, owie.
Are you crying?
Oh, yeah, you faked me out. What was it that you said?
These should be fine, it sounds like.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god, you are such a shit. Oh my god.
There it is. Alright. You guys ready?
Yeah. I'll tell him later.
Alright. Well, welcome to session 2 of A King's Venture.
Do we have a music link?
Nope, it's in Roll20.
Roll20 this time. Excellent.
Yes. I got tired of using the music link, so I started going through. I spent a lot of time picking out music for this session.
Nice. I think it gives you a bit more, one, versatility, and two, you don't have to babysit it as much.
Yeah, yeah, I don't have to babysit it nearly as much, which is going to be nice.
Because once I started hearing the same 3-minute loop over and over again, I was like,
yeah, no, I agree. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
Shello was supposed to bring me a drink.
I think if you like sat on top of it and like really managed it and worked it, it would be
really good.
Powerful tool, but
I just can't yet.
You can't do it while doing all the other DM stuff.
Yas. Ooh,
Rough.
shit. I almost lost my muffin.
Okay, but cool. Is there anything going right now? I just want to make sure I'm not.
What's that?
I don't know. I turned it down because it was up
Music
super
going
loud.
right now.
There is music going right now.
Sure. Oh wait, there it is. Awkward meeting.
So cool. Shut the fuck
Is
up.
it what
Is
they
he
tell
really
him?
loud right now? Like,
He's not. He's not loud.
No, he's not bad.
Okay.
We can hear him, but he's not loud.
Okay. Let me know. No,
Like,
you're
God
okay.
damn.
They can hear you a little bit, but you're not loud.
Tell him to move
Just
his desk
don't scream.
outside onto the porch.
I still don't have sound.
Still no. Is it showing that
I see that it's playing.
it's your master volume?
Playing nothing currently.
Hey, Bear.
My master volume's all the way up.
Well, the song just ended.
Well,
There you go.
no, I don't.
Is it supposed to be awkward meeting?
Yes, it's supposed to be awkward meeting.
Alright. You're an awkward meeting. Oh my god, it's just the cutest little fox ever. Is it real? I don't think it's real.
Can anyone else hear it other than John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I can hear it.
Okay. Let me go all the way out here.
I talk.
You can start. You can start.
Okay. So this is the session 2 of A King's Venture. Last week, after the long siege of Eiselhofen, you were all asked to meet at the Brigadier's tent. From there you had wine and food, and some pleasantries, before you were given your new orders. You were ordered to head to the city of Eiselhofen and retrieve an amulet that is hidden somewhere in the Temple of the Anaki. You guys approached the castle, or the city, entered it, and found it to be swarmed, the exit to be swarmed by a large group of people trying to leave the city. And they were not being allowed to. You traveled down, you met with Rodgul, the Salter, in the market, and he gave you guys some information. From there you headed to the temple, Lucifer. You did some talking with a priest and the bishop. Then you and almost everybody but Godric went down to the market and started making a performance to get people to come back to the church. Godric, in the meanwhile, had turned himself into a spider and listened in on a conversation between the priest and the bishop. And that is where we left off. What would you guys like to do from here? Lucifer, you guys, you're still down there, you're still playing. You have a large...
I think let's go to them, because I'm still just hanging, like, these two guys are still in this hallway or whatever where I'm at, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, I think let's go over to them first to kind of...
Get them along.
Yes.
Alright, so Lucifer, Trudy, Vayu, Sky, you guys have a pretty sizable crowd around you. It's not huge. It's a good, decent amount of people, at least the people that had been out and wandering and walking. You're up there performing. You've seen a couple people head off towards the direction of the church. What would you guys like to do?
I think because we were at the market.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me switch over to that
we're
map.
not at the big crowd yet, are we?
I mean,
There we
like, is there a lot of people going, or like just a couple?
There's a couple people going.
I'm going to try and entice more people on going, and
Yeah.
trying to, like, I want like 20 or 30, like at the minimum, kind of more than just like 3 or 4 people.
More than 3 or
Yeah.
I want
Okay, well, how are you going to do it?
to
Push them.
Push the...
No, I think kind of what I was thinking is kind of keep progressing towards the big herd of people. We're all grumpy, and kind of as I'm traveling down, encouraging people to go, kind of not just stay stationary, but try and, you know, the more people I can hit with my music, the better.
Okay. Or what about the you three? What are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm just kind of playing support wind instrument back there, playing my flute.
Sky, Trudy, what about you guys?
Doesn't one of them have like some incense that I gave
Yeah,
them?
you gave me some incense. and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of waiting to see if there's going to be an opportunity to use it, or if I should.
I'm just gonna randomly start telling people to go up there.
Be
Okay.
the crier.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, you guys should go.
So,
check out things.
okay.
They have punching.
Then Lucifer, Vayu, I want you guys to make either a separate performance check, or one of you can do it with advantage. And then Trudy, why don't you make me a persuasion check? While I reload the map. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah. I'm gonna help Tyler do it, Lucifer do it, because my performance is terrible. So, I'm
It's
just gonna-
you know, it's pretty alright.
yeah, see. You bust out, like, what instrument do you play again, Lucifer? What are you playing right now?
Violin. Or
Violin?
the fiddle.
Whoa.
Fiddle? So you could just be like rocking out while you're playing.
Yep.
We could bust out like a sick breakdancing routine.
I mean, I have a trumpet, I have a violin. Violin is magic. That's the only thing.
Nice.
I don't think the bard instrument carries into different instruments. So
Mm-hmm.
the viola is the magical smoke mist.
Okay.
But I have a
Gotcha.
trumpet and a lute as well.
I have a trumpet too. It's connected to my face.
I mean, can you like beatbox with your trunk while you play the flute?
It's
There we
actually
go.
the flute actually has an adapter for Loxodon so that I supply the air through my trunk rather than my mouth because it makes more sense.
Oh, so you can beatbox with your normal mouth while you play
I mean,
the
that
flute.
would require
I
a lot. You know, you can beatbox with your flute. There's people who do that.
I don't know how you would like regulate the oxygen flow though, trying to use both appendages at once.
I don't know, that'd be really
I don't
weird.
know how that works.
Okay, so with that performance
Anyway,
check, Lucifer, as you're starting to wander down the streets of the city, you're starting to gather a pretty good cluster of people following you, heading down this direction. Trudy, with that persuasion roll, a few more people, a few more stragglers that are on the outskirts of this large group are heading their way. Instead of waiting here and seeing what's going on, they're heading their way towards the church now. So you're looking at probably about total of 8 or so people that have made their way to the church. You've got a group about, well, he's only got a group of about 15, 20 people around him.
There
Cause
you
like,
go, Sam.
What?
Beatboxing flute. There you go.
Oh,
There goes your Loxodon.
should I look at this right now? I don't want to up.
so what else? So you've got about 15 to 20 people around you, Lucifer, as you're... Now, you are performing really well, and there are people gathering around you, but mind you, the city was just taken by siege. There's not a lot of people out and about. The only groups of
Yeah.
people that you saw were at the market, and then the really angry group of people trying to leave the city.
And again, like I'm still doing like the smoke projections of kind of like the heroes and things like that. So I'm and
Oh,
then
yeah.
kind of as I finish kind of like every number, I'm kind of remember the church is still here. All your troubles, go to the church.
And with that, people are applauding, clapping. Go ahead and make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Is that okay? Oof.
Ooh.
Ow.
Ooh. Ooh. No, they're clapping. They're wanting more. They even say so. We want more music. One more song before we go.
Next time I'm playing is at the church. I'll be there.
Ooh. Go ahead and make me another persuasion check.
Heh. There we go.
Well, let's take advantage off, because that was a 1.
Oh.
That was
Apparently they don't believe me that I'm going to the
No.
church.
Tell
no.
them
Sing one more song before we go. Well, just sing us one more song.
I kind of shrugged and I'm going back to the church. I felt like the church deserves some ambiance for the music.
Oh, so you're leaving?
Yeah, I'm like heading back.
Oh god. Can I attempt a quick solo performance? God.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
I don't want to piss them off, but it's like, am I like?
Go ahead,
leaving, guys
go ahead
leaving?
and go ahead and make me a performance check.
My performance is. Oh. Where's the girl with the incense? I need persuasion right now.
I guess I can try. I mean, I haven't gone anywhere. So.
I just don't know where you are.
Yeah, where am I too?
Okay, no, you guys. So Lucifer's token will be you guys. Well, Bayou's
Oh.
token will
Oh,
be.
okay.
Will be Godric. He's up here.
Okay. So we're all kind of together.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
So what do you
yeah,
guys- what do you guys
spark
do?
up these incense and.
Yeah, let's
see if I can
turn
help.
that on and see if that gets people in good mood. And
I'm gonna kind of hold
It's
my
really
ground
good
to make sure
incense.
things don't get too rowdy with this crowd. I don't trust them.
okay.
Okay. So
Okay,
Sky, you light the incense and you let it kind of, the
Yeah.
smoke kind of drift around. Vayu, did you want to start tooting on your
Yeah.
flute?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like, do I want like a jaunty, happy tune, or do I want like a soothing tune? Like these people seem like they're in an okay mood, right?
Yeah, these people around you, they're
Okay.
they're pretty happy that there's someone out playing music
Okay.
right now.
Okay, then I think I'm gonna do more of like a jaunty, kind of like, what is it, the piper that leads the rats away, kind of like, follow me.
Okay, make me a performance check.
Okay. Oh god.
Oh no!
Oh man, you can see the applause and the shouts of of encore coming from the crown as Lucifer are leaving, and then they watch him leave and they look towards you and you kind of stand there and you nudge Sky a little bit and she lights the incense and kind of waves it around as you begin to play the flute off key, but you're going for it and you're trying. Pretty soon the crowd stops clapping and just kind of looks at each other and turns and starts following Lucifer up to the church.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's
you
one
got
way
the
to
point.
go.
I mean,
Good job,
we're going
good job.
where we want them to, so you did good.
You did that on purpose.
That was a great way to fail.
I'm like, they're still going nuts. I'm like,
So yeah, so Lucifer, you're ahead. You've got the crowd of people that was listening to you, following you, and the rest of the party are trying to perform and not being very successful at it.
Oh no, we're moving.
oh well.
I give a strong clap as I walk and says, sorry, hold on. I just had a brain fart. That hurt.
It's okay.
Like a small clap and say, everyone is at a different point in life. There's no need to worry. She's still learning. Everyone can be as great as I am. Let's all head to the church.
Okay, you guys do so. You guys head to the church.
And kind of at the gate, I'll kind of perk up my instrument again and act like I'm tuning it, kind of getting ready for the next one.
Okay. Sounds good. You guys make your way up and you make your way back inside the church. Is there anything you want to say, Lucifer, when you enter the church with a crowd of people?
I just give a coy nod to if the bishop.
The
Bishop.
bitch. That bitch.
Okay, before we get
The
to...
bishop is there.
Okay.
I would nod at him.
Gotcha. So as you are coming up to the church, Godric, was there anything else you wanted to do?
Can you give me a recap on what I know about these statues that were in the main room?
Yeah. So the statues that were in the main room, they are the 14 statues of the heroes.
Yes.
What you guys found out was there were grooves on the ground that the bases fit into. The bases are old as this temple, which is very old, but the statues themselves are newer. They're the newer heroes, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're, instead of being several thousand years old, they're a couple hundred years old. You guys also know that typically the statues and the bases, when they anoint new heroes, they remove statues and bases and put in new statues and bases, but not this church. You did find out that one of the statues moves, and the hero of pride is the one that's front and center in this church behind the altar.
Was it that one that could get moved or whatever?
No, it was another one that you guys had moved.
Just a different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get down.
Interesting.
Play with your sister.
Okay. And they had just said something along the lines of, they know that we have an artifact and we are going to hide it tonight after the ceremony.
They're checking, if I remember
Or-
correctly, they're checking on making sure that the artifact is secure. Is what was said.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that would be only information you would know because you were
Yeah.
spying on them.
Yeah. So I think I would have hung out here until the end of the conversation or wherever they did. Where did these two head off to?
They head off into the hallway that was behind the altar, a door. There's a door behind the statue that leads off into a hallway that, a
Yeah, I
small
thought
hallway.
that's where I had I thought that's where I had followed them back into
Yeah, that's where you
into
had,
this hallway.
yeah, you had followed them back into this hallway.
So now that their conversation is done, where are these two going?
The bishop is going down the hallway further, behind a closed door, and the priest is going back out into the church.
Okay. Well, I think I would Spidey my way down, so I grab a little bit of butt web and throw it on the ceiling and just down a little bit and
wipe.
and let the dress kind of carry me down the hallway
Okay.
to wherever this guy ran off to.
The bishop or the priest?
The bishop.
All right. You managed to get to a door. He saw this. He went behind a door. That was other end. You climb through and you find a. Actually, make me a perception check to see if you can find a way through the door.
Perception check. I can't just crawl around the frame, my tiny spider form.
How tiny spider are you going though?
I'm thinking I'm a pretty small ass spider.
A little baby
I don't want to be big enough to like scare someone. You
You're
know.
like
Okay.
tiny like a daddy long leg, but like you're like a small jumping spider.
Yeah, little striped.
There you go.
I'm pretty inconspicuous. I'm not doing it, a tarantula or anything like that.
Okay. Well
You
then,
have
yeah,
a
you'll be able to
tarantula
find your way through around the door jam fairly easy. And you climb in. You follow in after this bishop, and you see a. It's not a big room. It's maybe a 10 by 10 room. It's got a bed, a couple bookshelves, a desk. Is the music playing? It is not.
Not for me.
Now it is.
There we go. But you see,
Okay.
he's got a study, a desk, just a Smith. Looks like his own private bedchamber is what it appears to be. There's an armoire in the back. He walks over, sits in the desk, and just kind of puts his hands down like this.
Okay. So he seems pretty stressed out, pretty concerned.
Make an insight check.
What do your little spider eyes see?
Spidey senses.
Don't have. Oh, I do have a decent insight check. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, John, but I did crit.
Did you crit?
I did crit. I promise.
Who'd you send it to, yourself?
I had it to self because I was trying to get my wild shape to correctly work.
Gotcha. So pulled my
I
headphone
promise.
out.
It's a 23.
I trust you. So so 23. You can tell he seems stressed. Something's definitely bothering him.
I wonder what it could be.
His
All those
mortgage is
damn
late.
spiders all over the place.
Go lay down.
Do I know how long it will be until this? What is it? A sermon? A ceremony? Just a mass?
How long it would be
What-
till the mass? To the mass?
Yeah, whatever it is that's going on tonight.
It's usually it's usually before sunfall. So as the sun's starting to set is when the mass usually takes place.
Mm-hmm. And is that like imminent?
No, it's mid-afternoon. It's about 2.
It's mid-afternoon.
Yeah. So you've got some time.
Okay, if that's the case, I'm going to Spidey crawl and make my way back out into the main hallway, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah. You managed to get yourself to the main hallway. Did you want to go back into the church itself? Back into the main room?
Yes, I'm pretty much trying to meet up with them, so I'm gonna find a confession booth or whatever and shapeshift instead of, or
So-
wherever.
You can probably shapeshift behind a statue. One of the
Okay,
big, because
yeah.
they're pretty big sized statues. I think
Okay,
I said
yeah,
they're
they're-
15, 20 feet
okay.
tall. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they're okay. So yeah, I'm gonna find a good location to unshapeshift.
As you're crawling your little spidey way across the floor, you see the doors open up and Lucifer walks in with a pretty sizable crowd of people. Well, that's pretty sizable. It's about 20 or so people following in behind him. And when you crawled your way through, you did happen to notice about 5 to 8 more people that weren't there before sitting down now.
Okay.
And as you guys enter in, you see the priest standing behind the altar. Looks like he's just wiping down the top of the counter, and he looks up and kind of shaken by the amount of people that have just shown up into the building. You see him turn
Boy.
and run back behind the altar, back through the door, Godric, that you had seen. And a couple minutes later, him and the bishop exit out.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to Vayu. Hey there, Sheila. I've got some intel. I think our team here should reconcile some information. Find a plan to proceed. To
Okay.
be blunt, they know we're here for a thing.
Okay, I'm nodding at this and kind of looking over at Lucifer. Are you actually getting ready to play again, Lucy? Or what are you doing?
So could I hear Godric walk up? and say
I was probably being pretty covert about it.
okay, so then she. Okay.
Make me a perception check there, Lucy, if you want to see if Godric walked up. Okay, yeah, you see him.
God damn it! Stupid advantage. 13. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
your 19.
Higher roll. Turn it off. Turn it off. I'm not cutter. I don't always have advantage on.
Eh,
Yeah, I would say you'd probably notice him sliding his way in.
I cast message to Godric. Yeah, I told him, but I also bribed him into saying I could get his followers back. And this is after about 10-20 minutes of playing. He already looks starstruck. So this is my wager to him that we're not here to just take it.
So you're trying to act like you're actually supporting his churchfulness?
As you guys are talking, the bishop is doing an opening sermon. He stands at the altar and he thanks everybody for entering, and pretty soon the sermon starts to become a drown in the background. This isn't the right song.
And then with message again, I message Godric as he kind of starts his sermon and stuff. Where have you been?
I think in my brain, I don't know. Does my accent come across in brain message?
I think so, because that's how you talk.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it just depends. Like, are you talking to yourself in your head, or are you just kind of like broadcasting the vague idea?
I would assume that message is pretty direct conversation.
Yeah.
Oh.
It says
And
it can
and
whisper
not like
back.
an emotional.
It says it
Okay.
can whisper back, so it is.
Oh, okay,
like,
yeah,
speaking
so.
technically.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I went Spidey form. Followed them into the back rooms and listened in on a conversation.
Anything interesting? And also,
They might be moving it. That's the major problem. Extra guards, something after the sermon.
invisible. I won't have to leave. But I also didn't know you were a druid. Good to know.
Alright,
I guess
and turn into animals.
you might be. How many times can you do that? Because
I can do it one more time before I fall asleep, and then when I wake, well, actually, what is, I think it might be short or a long rest.
I think it's short or long. No, I think.
Anyways, I can do it one more time.
It might be better if you stay spider and just watch where they move it. And then you just
Yes,
come in and take it.
that was my original idea, but problem being I can only stay in form for about an hour.
What we could do too is I would know how long invisibility lasts because I use it. Up to an hour. Concentration up to an hour.
Concentration.
I'm about an hour as well. I guess I could cast it 3 times. That's 3 hours of invisibility. Right, we have somewhat of a plan.
So you guys, like, as you're talking mentally, are you, like, even looking at each other? Are you standing
No.
close? Are you just, like, on opposite sides of the room? Just, like,
Yeah,
staring
I
up
think-
at the ceiling?
I think I was definitely probably checking out the statue, just admiring the stonework. I'm a dwarf. I'm into stonework for sure. So I'm admiring the workmanship. How is it? Is it like a beautifully, perfectly?
It's like
carved-
it's a marble. It's you can think of it as a marble Greek statue.
Okay.
Oh, like one of those classic ones?
Yeah, classical marble statue. It is very detailed. It is
Oh, I
beautiful.
love those. With the soft flowing curls.
Or the grabbing the leg and you can see the finger indentations in the thigh kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
So yes, it is a very, very, very beautiful statue. What about you three gals? What are you guys doing while these two are messaging back and forth?
Well, I just kind of got the message from Godric, so I'm kind of like standing there, maybe my head slightly cocked and my ear like a little bit fanned out, and so I get the thing, and then he just stops talking. So I'm just like,
He just stops talking in the middle of time.
I'm
Yeah,
just like
I'll-
side eye watching you, like, and
I probably do just put up like a finger and then point over to Lucifer to like indicate like he's doing
'Cause
something.
I think I've done it to at least everybody now.
I'm trying to remember that. Yeah, I don't.
Well,
remember
and
who
it's
I
so
listened
like
to.
message is a verbal, somatic, and material component. Smell. You're not just gonna be able to just.
It's like a copper wire that you have to pull out and
But I'm wearing
Yeah.
this necklace.
So it looked like you're at least fiddling with something.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
probably
something
sitting
for
here.
us to all indicate like he's.
Oh,
kind
okay.
of
I kind of
selective or-
imagined it's just kind of like it looks like I'm adjusting like the shirt under my armor or kind of something like
Okay.
that. But I'm kind of doing something like this.
what about Sky and Trudy? What are you two doing?
I'm just banning this incense around still.
Trying not,
Just-
trying not to suffocate.
Just kidding.
That incense is about out. The cherry's getting pretty close to the end of your finger.
Alright.
And do it until you bleed.
Oh, wow.
So anything else you guys want to do after that message? Or what else do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what your plan is. You said that we have a plan, but just saying that we have some utility abilities to use to potentially.
I meant like a starting of a plan. Like we can talk about it after like the sermon or something, and unless they start kicking us out, really.
Yeah. See, I was thinking maybe we could try to pull this off before the sermon, during the sermon, right? Like literally right now.
Aye. And I stand up and I look around for any kind of priest.
There's a guy up there talking. Remember?
The bishop is up there talking. The priest, if you want, if you're looking for the priest, make me a. What's your
Like
with your passive perception, you would have seen the priest walk down and sit down one of the aisles.
No,
about
just like any priest. Who
Just
actually,
like any
where's
priest?
the bathroom? Yeah, like where's the bathroom?
So there would be a couple priests that'll be set up in the pews throughout
Yeah,
the thing.
exactly.
So there's one. There'll be one close by.
I kind of tap him on the shoulder.
Wait, I see Lucifer walk away, and I say, wait, I think I just reach out and grab him. Like, I
Okay.
see him walking
I
away, I'm
stop.
like, I still don't know what the thing is.
I mean,
We only get 1 hour. No, still don't know that. That's the problem. I know that these statues move around.
Okay, so we're gonna wait till they start moving the statue.
I don't know. We've got some other members here. Let's.
I gotta look around.
Yeah, I'm still
Gotta
kind of
point
like
to everybody.
both of you,
I'm like,
like.
huddle.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to. Get together, team. Together, team. We got
I just start messaging
a little bit of a huddle here.
Huddle.
Okay, so I kind of start moving. Like, I would be back toward the back anyway, so that people don't notice if we are like moving. So I just kind of like start moseying over to a dark corner. How big is this
It's-
chapel room?
The church
Whatever it
church is pretty damn big. It's about 50
Okay.
feet across, about 80 feet long. It's about
Okay.
40 feet tall. It's a
Yeah,
cathedral.
Start sidling over to a shadow. Okay, yeah, to a shadowed corner behind a pillar or behind a statue, maybe. You know, mosey.
Okay, so you're moseying there.
You see nothing suspicious? Yeah. Oh, look, a
Same.
statue. How convenient.
What the
Are there
rest?
any
Slip behind us.
are there any of those like drag marks or whatever next to this one?
Make me a perception check.
Let's see. Okay, I'm fine with that.
13, yeah. With a 13, you would notice that there were drag marks behind the
Drag
statue.
marks. So it would go to assume that there's drag marks on each of them.
Yep.
Huh.
Now, which side? Now,
are
here's
you-
here's the question: are you on the left-hand side of the cathedral or the right-hand side of the cathedral? Because one side has, because you've got, what was it? How many? 7 vices, 7 virtues. You've got 14 statues, so there's, what would that be? 7 on 7.
In my brain space, we're next to the nearest statue when we walk in on the left-hand side.
On the left-hand side. Okay, so that'd be the very back statue. On the opposite end, the statue that would normally go there is up front. So there's 14 spaces, and there's also 1 space up front. If that makes sense.
Okay, so there's only... Wait.
So there's
13 statues?
There's 13 statues on the sides and the Statue of Pride up top.
So we're just standing next to like a pedestal?
No, you're standing next to a statue. You're standing next to one of the statues.
There are 13 statues. 14th is up at the very behind the priest that's giving the sermon.
Let me see if I can.
Sure. Base. Oh, I hear nothing and no one. What's
Hold on
going
one sec.
I think
Okay.
Brian and John are both trying to draw what they see.
Okay. Making sure my mic's not.
So this is gonna be a mirror image, but group.
You're a mirror image.
So
And there goes.
And of course he goes super... Okay.
that makes sense now.
Yeah, I think so.
So on the other side, is there a pedestal over on that other side?
Where
No,
the piece should
the
be?
statue is on the pedestal. So you've got the pedestal, statues resting on it. When you guys moved it, you moved the pedestal and statue all in one. When you moved the last one, or
Which one
last
on
week,
which one of on those dots did we move last week?
I'll put a dot in it.
That one up there. Okay.
So there's no
Okay,
indication
interesting.
that there was ever a pedestal or anything in that empty spot where.
No, there's an indent where a pedestal and a statue would sit.
Okay.
Okay, but there's not there's so pretty much what I'm at the older 1,000-year-old pedestal that all these are standing on. There's not one there. It's up at the front.
It's up at the front with the other statue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are these drag marks like perpendicular or are they like curved?
You can see that they're right behind the statue, leading to a channel, and then leading down the channel.
Okay, so there's these channels that are going all
Yes.
along the road.
There's these grooves that are going along. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Huh. Okay. Interesting. You throwing a puzzle at us this early, John? What the fuck's going on here?
Right. Some Zelda dungeon floor puzzle.
Interesting. Would I know who the previous sorry, I guess this is a better question. Do the heroes that these temples worship change?
Yes.
Like the major ones change?
Every so many hundreds of years, there is new heroes canonized. The old ones are released, and the new ones take their place.
Well, like,
I
in
guess-
the
I
current
guess-
rotation, like, do they have like their monthly flavor of the day? Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
meant.
like,
Is it
how long
always
the main-
right
how
now?
long-
Has it been Pride?
Oh, gotcha. Okay, make me a religion
Yeah,
check
yeah.
on that one.
How long has it been Pride? Thank you, Sam. That was
Yeah.
my
That's where you were going with that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. religion.
I'm here for something.
Or is it like
14.
a Pokemon gym where the same thing stays?
14. With a 14, you would know that it would be normal for statues on particular holidays or days of the week, or depending on what the sermon is about. There would be a different statue that's front and center, and that's what you would know with that roll.
Okay, so
Not
it's pretty
necessarily having-
common to shift
To shift statues.
Statues. around.
these things around. Would I know that Pride is like the typical one that's up there?
With a 14, you would know that, and you have heard that the Reichsführer of
Mhm.
Eiselhofen worships Pride above all
Okay,
others.
that makes sense. That I guess that was going to be my next question. Like cities typically have their preferred
Yes,
Deity.
the preferred.
hero
Yes,
that they're
So since-
worshiping.
This guy
Okay.
likes Pride. Pride's the
the one that's front and center.
head honcho for
Okay.
now. But if the town over likes whatever,
Lots
that's
of his knowledge checks here. I guess my final question, I think, to bring Godric up to whatever the fuck he knows speed.
right.
The right Fury here, because I'm obviously from the
Yes.
region.
Yep,
How long has he been the leader here?
he's been Reichsführer for about 15 years.
15 years. Would I potentially know if before him it was a different hero that was typically worshipped here? I'm probably going way off the rails here.
You
but this is-
would have to make me a history check on that if you want to know that
Okay,
information.
history. 17.
17.
Fucking
Okay,
knowing these
with
rolls.
a 17, you would know that the previous Reichsführer, his father, was not in line with one or another, more aligned with one or another.
Okay, so he just kind of went along with whatever the people that the cardinals and bishops were doing. Okay. Okay. Probably okay. Well, just so everyone's on the same page with me, I'm thinking we got to move Pride here and put in a certain statue into this slot to
Yeah.
open up a secret stair. And But,
Okay.
but I
I
think
just don't
since-
know which one you would pick.
I
Yeah.
think the better plan forward would be to try to just hang around and watch these guys
Mm-hmm.
try to open it up and then just
Mhm.
I don't know,
and
just
then
fucking
recreate it later on.
Mhm.
That's what I
Either
was
do
thinking.
that or just fucking take it right then. Like, if it's an empty place and there's only like 2 fucking priests
Yeah,
down
there's a
there or
couple-
whatever,
yeah.
like we don't gotta
Big
kill
belly.
anyone. Like,
Yeah. Plus carnage.
so those are my 2 ideas. Either like fucking. I originally thought there might be trapdoors under here. Maybe it's still that. I don't know, but
I think it's like a combination.
that's the page
of that.
I'm on.
I think it's like a. I think I was more on the lines of it's probably a trapdoor, but if they move them around a lot, that kind of doesn't.
Yeah, like if there's like a
Yeah.
path for them all to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would almost think it might not even be related since the pedestals are these old things and that the the statues on top don't even really matter. It's just like you got to put the right
Yeah.
one in the right place. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, we can.
Yeah.
The best thing to do might be to observe at the moment.
So I mean, Lucifer can stay around for
3 hours.
3 hours. Um,
And do what, since we haven't really learned
Just
that?
sit there and be invisible.
yeah, just be invisible and
Oh, you can be invisible?
Track.
That's crazy. Yeah.
What?
yeah. I guess we're all over here like whispering. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let me ask this.
for a little bit. And...
Are you guys doing this stealthily, or are you guys just kind of
Well, we're
wander
whispering.
slowly? You're
No, we're
whispering.
Of course, this is.
Well, you said it's a pretty big chamber, and there's a guy up front talking
Yeah.
or whatever.
There
right?
is,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
yeah.
just off to the
Um,
side having a conversation,
Okay.
trying not to be disrespectful.
hmm
I would say we would maybe even try to find like an alcove, so we're not even like in the main chamber at this point.
Or like we're all pushed up against the back wall.
Yeah, with you guys being at the back statue, though, with the way the chamber kind of curves around,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the statues, and then behind the statues you have pillars, and so there would be enough room for you guys to kind of duck in the back there
Okay, yeah.
and have a little team meeting.
A powwow.
Okay.
So because I think the best idea might be for Lucifer to be go invisible, follow him around. I know he's got to kind of hold that spell together. So I mean, you said 3 times, so that's 3 hours. Yeah,
Yes.
3 hours of invisible stealthy time, observation. If it doesn't pan out after that, I suppose you can come back out and tag team me back. I don't know. What kind of
I mean, if it
abilities do the rest of you have?
Wisdom's
Any
a list, I can
subterfuge
put
or?
people to sleep.
Oh, that sounds pretty nice.
Avoid combat in general. Just go to sleep.
That sounds nice.
I know we kind of skipped this meeting beforehand, and it's a little late to be having this. But what the fuck can you guys do? I can turn into animals.
Oh.
I
That's
can
getting
stab people.
I think we are capable of that. Yep.
good to know.
Any magic
Thanks
or
for
any...
making me feel special.
No, any kind of magic or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Let me
No
see
magic
what
on that.
I've got.
Yeah.
I have like Eyes of the Dark, Strength of the Grave. What else
I don't
is
know
there?
what that means.
Yeah.
Eyes of the dark. I assume that means you can see in the dark.
vision within a range of 120 feet.
That's quite a lot of feet. That's actually pretty good.
I see with his goggles, like, same, just not as far. I see you've got the updated models, the one that goes in your head.
All right. So
Well, so I'll spill the beans on my cloak. I have a cloak of the Wendigo that allows me to
when to go?
Wendigo. It's
Interesting.
a creature I met in the forest.
Oh, scary.
Yeah, but I can teleport to a location I've seen up to 500 feet away from my current location.
You've seen. Interesting. That might be a good getaway, though.
Yeah.
All right. I see a plan coming together here now. Finally. I think the main question is going to be what are the rest of us going to be doing while Lucifer here is going undercover, and how are we going to relay the messages afterwards? Are we just going to meet up outside? What are you thinking, Lucifer? You've got this telepathic link thing. Can you?
It's not necessarily telepathic.
All right. How's
I
that
got-
thing work?
I got a
I see
finger- I
the
got a
spell
finger gun.
description, but
Yeah, I gotta finger gun somebody, and then I can cast it. And it's
Ah,
only
you
about
point you
120
point to a creature. I see you now. Oh. All right. My main worry is if you're discovered while undercover.
I mean, they would have to hit me, which would be pretty interesting.
I mean, I think it would be pretty simple.
And to be fair, I can always just cast light on another corner, and they think it's Jesus, and I run the other way.
Poof. Hey, look, Jesus.
What was that you were going to say about you?
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, unless he trips over himself and makes a lot of noise, I don't see why it would be difficult to remain undetected. Or if he runs out of time, just, walk quietly the other direction and then stealthily move away. It seems relatively low risk.
I agree. Just trying to cover our bases here, you know.
Oh, yeah. And also, if we have to resort to attempting to get them to cooperate again, I do have an item which allows me to procure several gallons of wine or beer at a time. Just as a backup plan.
Interesting.
Drug them. Got it.
Speaking
I
of
like
Jesus,
this one.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, I think we might be best if the rest of us sit at the sermon, kind of head out with the rest of the crowd. Not arouse any suspicion.
I agree.
And then Lucifer will let you do your thing. Don't die. Putting some faith in you. Yeah.
I mean, you'll know if I'm dying because things will be exploding.
That's good to know.
And don't forget, we each have a standard issue signal whistle. Just saying.
Oh, good to know. I mean, I knew that.
I went through the entire pack of things that they gave me.
okay. So is that what you guys are?
Oops. Sorry. I'm just flipping.
Military pack!
Okay, we'll go.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the plan you guys gonna go with?
I think
That's
so.
easy for now.
All right. Well, we'll go for. You guys sit down. You continue to watch the sermon. The sermon goes on for a good 2 hours as the bishop discusses the trials and tribulations that the heroes went through, and how it's not quite unlike what they have to go through within the city of Eiselhofen with the siege and everything, and the loss of friend and family alike. It seems to be a heartfelt and moving sermon. Some people in the crowd shed a tear. Some don't. Some you might notice fall asleep. But after about 2 hours, the bishop thanks everybody for coming down, and it is good to see so many faces back within the church. That let this church be a light and a beacon of hope. And okay, hurry up. Not that many.
I'm gonna.
You have 2. You're not having 6.
Okay.
What?
So why?
Who would have ever said that?
Just grab your candy and go.
Okay.
John.
I'm putting it back.
Come on. So the priest invites everybody to stand, and he walks with everybody as they start walking out of the temple.
So, am I still pretty secluded by myself, like behind the statue? So, I imagine the doors.
Well,
are
did
here.
you stay behind the statue, or did you go sit back in the pews with everybody?
I stayed behind the statue the entire
Then yeah, you would be pretty secluded, but go ahead and make me a stealth check if you don't mind.
Yeah, I will. Let me just explain this so I have it in my mental picture. So doors are here. People are coming out through the door, coming out this way. Statue is on either right or left side. Doesn't really matter. As people were kind of going to exit, I would kind of hop to the other side of the statue and make sure that nobody's just, patrolling the sides or anything like that.
Okay.
There's that.
Stealth? Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
You feel like you've hidden yourself pretty well. Are you, the rest of you, leaving with the crowd of people?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go outside. I'm too
Yeah.
conspicuous, too large.
All right,
Yes.
Luce.
Yeah, we want to try to be as not suspicious as possible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right. Not so ostentatious.
Did you see the item description or the item that I put in there, Tabitha? I put the Cloak of the Wendigo actually in the information for you. In the okay, in the journal. Okay, so you guys leave out with the crowd, Lucifer. What would you like to do from here as the crowd? You watch as the crowd, the bishop walks to the back. The crowd leaves the doors. They close the doors. Two priests walk to either side, grab two large metal rods, and lock the doors.
I'm going to kind of like watch out for them. I'm trying to like stay here as long as possible.
Right.
And I don't think invisibility. It has a VSM. So like, me thinking my character knows like roughly like how much to do for like the motion and sound and stuff.
Well, you want to link invisibility?
It is a VSM, by the way.
It is a VSM. If I remember correctly, it's a piece of gum with an eyelash in it. Funny enough.
How bad?
With that
25
stealth
stealth
check,
check, though.
yeah, exactly. With that check, that should be not a problem.
Like, so essentially, if somebody's going to like come up on me, I would pull out an eyelash, stick it in my gum, and things like
That's
that.
funny.
Ah!
All Might!
That's awesome.
I have very quick detail question.
Yes.
Yes.
Those front doors that the people locked with the metal thingies, what are the doors made out of?
They're made out of stone.
Okay.
What happened with me cleaning? I hit the wall. You see that bruise right there? I hit the wall and my ring like.
Ducked into your hand. So yeah, so if anybody's like going to like come up on Lucifer, he's going to cast invisibility, and sorry, I'm distracted.
All Might does not need invisibility.
Carolina, smash!
Yeah, or if he did, he would get right behind him and be like, "Do not fear, for I am here," and they die of a heart
Okay.
attack.
Have I fed Lilo dinner? No, not yet. So yeah, so if anybody's gonna do that, I will actually use the spell slot and kind of just not move.
Just not move.
Just
Just stay.
Unless somebody's going to
Heal.
like run into me, but I'm like kind of like standing, and I imagine myself kind of just like peeking around the corner, kind of watching them close the door, and then when they close the door, I'm like, "Hoop!" But I'm just kind of. There is a bug on the ceiling.
Okay. So you're watching, and with that stealth check, they close the doors with the two giant metal rods, lock it into place, and you see the priests kind of gathered together in a huddle. The bishop and two other priests as they start to approach the front altar. They are talking amongst themselves.
Do I hear what they are talking about?
Make me a perception check.
Flip.
17. You catch most of the conversation, and you hear the bishop tell the priest to grab some meat from the back, and we will unlock the chamber. And you see the one priest nod, and he leaves as the other two, the bishop and the other priest, approach the Statue of Pride. You watch them start shifting this statue, and it's a bit of a process moving it down the channel. It's taking them a little bit of time, but you can hear the stone just kind of scrape across. The other priest appears back up, and he's got some dripping hunks wrapped in paper set off to the side, and he goes and helps him.
Okay.
After
2 seconds.
Yep.
Sorry, just 2 seconds.
Where are you?
We're gonna pour a drink real quick, unless we want to do what we're doing.
Yeah, let's do what
outside.
you guys were doing real quick.
Yeah.
So we're outside. I would like to look around kind of the outside of the temple. See if there's any interesting features. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make.
Yeah, just go and investigate.
Yeah.
I act like I'm kind of just enjoying the architecture.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Or are you just looking at the architecture?
I mean, is it just like kind of the classic European cathedral where
No.
it's like the?
It is not.
Okay.
The outside is.
Like this
Describe
picture?
it to me.
So like this picture, it's no, it's
Okay.
it's similar to that picture. Think of like a an Indian temple where it has all the statues carved into the side of the temple of different depictions of battles and stuff like that. So this is a
Native American or
East Indian.
Asian Indian?
yeah Asian Indian,
Real Indian, not Native
temple.
American.
Like a Hindu temple or
like
something
Hindu,
like that?
yeah, like a Hindu temple where they have intricate carvings all around the outside of this temple.
Okay. It's all
Hindu
ornate
temple.
stuff. Okay. Oh, yeah. Because I'm thinking, like, no, I think I would know what those temples look like very well.
Right.
So, I'd be kind of looking for,
Okay.
like, incongruities, like, potentially, like, some kind of side portal that might be in there, or just
So
something
lots
that
of
seems...
repeating tears.
Yeah.
Uh,
It just looks
Vayu,
off.
anything that looks off? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you make me a perception check, and I'll tell you if you think that something looks off. Nope.
Fucking rules tonight.
As you're walking around, you're like, this is a pretty normal looking temple that I've seen several times in my past.
Help me out, guys.
Um,
We all have
I'll
eyes.
do the
We
same.
don't
What-
I'll
have
look around.
what- what-
See if there's anything out of place or off.
I'm gonna check out the graves.
Oh, nice.
All right. Yeah, you go look through the graves, and you see tons of graves of fallen paladins and clerics alike, with names on the headstones and who they followed, or what vice or virtue they followed, and how they fell, or how they passed. Some of sickness and old age, some in battle, some of infection, unknown causes in others. Well, that's what you see wandering through the graveyard.
Okay.
What were you saying there, Sky? What do you want to do?
Oh, I just said I would look around the outside of the temple also for anything that's off or.
Okay, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Ugh,
Ugh.
I tried.
As you're walking around this temple, you think to yourself, this is really old.
Yep, that's about all I'll get with that.
Godric?
How high up is the top?
The top would probably be about 120 feet or so.
How difficult would it be to get to the top?
In what form?
In
You know.
dwarven form?
It would be very difficult.
What about in human form?
It would still be difficult.
Mm.
I mean, you can try.
Pretty much what I'm not gonna fucking climb up
Scale a temple.
sheer
Because that's not
Here.
gonna stand out.
cliff edge
Yeah,
to
right.
climb to the top. I'm just trying to look for some place that's kind of elevated over the rest of most of the other stuff that's kind of like looking over the city. I know that we're here next to the sea,
No, you're next to
Or-
a river.
next to a river.
Hmm. There
What
is
is that?
so the temple is up on a cliff. So let me get my little.
So you might have a pretty good view anyway.
So these are all cliffs here. So yeah, you are actually outside of the temple being tall itself. The land that you're standing on is the highest point in the city. The only thing that would be at the same level would be this area and the military quarter.
Let me zoom out. Oh, is the first area?
This one here,
Okay.
and then this here.
I'm pretty much just trying to find some place to meditate.
Mm.
I know that it might be a potentially long period of time before Lucifer comes out.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to find some place a little secluded that's, I think, probably facing the river. I might not climb up it. I think I'll probably just go to the cliff edge or whatever and just fold my legs and kind of start doing some breathing exercises while listening to the river flow past or whatever.
Okay.
pretty much I'm trying to take a short rest here.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
To recharge my
Your wild shape.
wild shape. I don't know if it will go off or anything, but that's where I'm at because I'm thinking, okay, he could be anywhere between 10 minutes to 3 hours, and there's not too much for us to do. I'm
We
going
want
to
to
go
stay
and
close.
yeah, and I'm gonna, I know this is one of my precious resources, so I'm gonna, try to become one with nature again, recharge this wild shape.
All right.
That's
Seems
Godric.
legit.
Okay, that's Godric. That's everybody else.
And Godric's getting a drink.
Godric will get a drink. We'll go back to Lucifer. Lucifer, you see the other priest come out and drop off the hunk. He takes the hunk of dripping meat next to the altar and he sets it down, and then he goes and helps the bishop and a priest. And after about a good...
With that perception check, do I hear any like snarling creature kind of thing? Like, what's a hunk of meat for?
You don't hear anything. You just see them have a hunk of meat.
Okay.
You watch. It takes them a good 35 to 40 minutes to push the statue. They're not very strong individuals either, but you watch them push the statue to the side, push it down, and they line it up with the last... They line it up in the last spot on the right where the statue was missing, and they push it into place. And they stand back and they start walking up to the altar, and they kind of stop and they look. They kind of look at each other, and the bishop points at the other statues. You see the bishop, or you see the two priests go to either side and start pushing the statues in, making sure that they're all set in their spot. And on the left-hand side, at the middle statue, the one that you guys had moved earlier, you see the priest shift it back into place. The bishop, or the priest, is like, "Oh, there it is," and comes walking out, and you watch as the altar separates in half.
It what?
It separates in half.
Okay.
Moses is.
You see the bishops and the priests gather back up at the altar and nod. One of the priests grabs the hunk of meat and heads down. You see him walk over towards where the altar had separated, and he starts, looks like he's walking down. And he disappears out of sight. The bishop walks back over to the nearest statue to him and pushes it out. And you watch as the altar slides back together. And he stands there now, leaning on the statue he had moved.
And so that roughly took like 45 minutes for them to do that.
Yes. 45 minutes of moving the statue, grabbing the meat, and then finding the statue that had been shifted and putting it back into place.
Okay. I'm going to sit and wait to see if they open it up again. And again, if anybody is going to get too close to me, I'll cast invisibility and hold really still.
Right. Why don't you make me another stealth check with the amount of time that's gone by? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, no one's seeing nothing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no shit. That's pretty damn good.
It's a nice roll.
That is a very nice roll. I'm impressed.
I've never seen a 30 before.
You have today, and I hadn't either. Yeah, you're fine. It's about 20 minutes before you hear some banging.
Mm-hmm.
And the bishop stands back up and he pushes the statue back into place. The altar separates. The priest walks back up and he seems to be winded and a little shaky. But the bishop hurries over to him. Actually, after the guy gets out of the way, the bishop pushes the statue. The altar closes and the bishop heads up to the priest. And they start to talk.
Does it look like he's holding anything?
Make a perception check. He is not holding anything.
Do I hear what they're talking about?
With a 25, you are quite a distance away from them at this point, and they are...
The acoustics in this place are great.
With a 25 perception roll with how far they are away, you will hear bits and pieces.
That's fine.
You hear... in place... Trying to think of the right words to say. In place, no. In place, no worries, stationed.
In place station? Like battle stations?
In
Or-
placed, worried, or no, in placed, no worries, stationed. Like something, yeah, like stationed. Something stationed. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
That's what you gathered.
Is there a way that I can... Actually, wait. So, were there windows in this place?
There are no windows.
No windows.
No windows.
Does it look like they're going back to their chambers and, like, leaving this main room? Or what does it look like?
You're gonna sit and watch for a little bit?
For a little bit.
Okay. You watch as they go back towards the Statue of Pride. They push it out and they push it back up into place. So it's another... And there's 3 of them helping, so that's about another 35 minutes.
Okay.
That it takes them. They speak amongst themselves. The bishop leaves behind the altar. The 2 priests walk up to the door. Open up the bars. They don't open the doors, but they at least unlock the doors. And then they go set. One goes and sits in a pew and pulls out a book and starts reading. The other one goes back into the side where he had taken you previously.
Mm-hmm.
So Godric, you will get your short rest, by the way. I know you got the other guys won't. You don't need it, but you would have gotten a short rest in that time frame too.
Yeah, I'm good.
Is he in the top pews or the back pews?
He's in the middle.
Okay. I would like to sneakily crawl to the door.
Okay. Go ahead.
And sleight of hand the door and walk out.
Make me a stealth check and a sleight of hand check. And you are no longer invisible, by the way.
I haven't been invisible. Or was I supposed to be invisible?
I didn't know
I
if you
didn't
turned it
use
in.
the spell
You didn't
slot.
use it? Okay, just making sure that you knew. Okay, so 14.
Mm-hmm. And then sleight of hand 10.
Okay.
It creaks as you exit.
Okay. As you crawl your way to the door, you get to the edge and you start to pull it open and just a slight little groan, and you look up and you see the priest just sitting there at the pew, book in hand, looking down. You manage to walk yourself out and door closes.
I would like to hear in case he like starts moving, like before I finish shutting the door. Like, does he get up and like start running?
No, you don't. He does not seem to get up and start running. He's just sitting there, nose in a book.
They both be down now, or is that Lilo?
I was Lilo.
All right, so Godric, you
Yeah, just so my notes are right, because I kind of missed out on a little bit of there. So they moved statues around? Is that what I'm...
They moved the Statue of Pride to the missing spot on the right-hand side.
Okay, nothing else. They didn't move a different statue up there.
They did
No.
they didn't move a different statue up there. They had moved the one statue back. The altar
And
had
then they
opened.
popped the one into place that we had already moved out.
That we messed with a little bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they were all in place, and then
They were all in place except for the one that we moved earlier on from last session, and then they moved Pride down into place against all the walls.
And then what happened? Did the altar fall down, or what?
The
what?
altar, it
opened
like
up.
split,
Moses.
and then there was
Okay.
like an recess
Okay.
underneath.
All right,
it
And
opened
then
up.
it looked like somebody was walking down.
gotcha. All right, makes sense. All right.
with me.
Alright, just wanted to make sure I had my little diagram all caught up with
All caught up,
what's
yeah.
going on, so
Yep, you're good.
Sorry, I don't have a map for this area.
that's alright.
It's alright.
Can you guys hear the music, by the way?
Yep.
All right, good.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I can switch it to a different set of music now that the prayer service is over. Oh, now it's playing this song. All right, guys, what would you like to do?
Now I am outside. I would like to look for any one of my party members.
We should all be right there.
Except for Godric.
Yeah.
Well, but he's not too far.
No, and I'm sure I let someone know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, you guys get back together.
We I kind of wait until everyone groups up. You know, if we have to go grab Godwin or whatever, or call out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Druid boy, we got some things to talk about.
Alright. I kind of get up from my cross-legged meditation position. And
I kind of relay the information that I witnessed, and kind of. What do you guys want to do? Do we want to go in tonight, or
what time of day is it? Night?
At this point, if you give me 1 second, let me do the math. I'll tell you exactly what I can tell you what time of
We
day
don't
it is.
have time for your math.
So it's getting into evening. The sun is starting to set. It is fall here, so the days are short. So it'd be late evening.
I definitely think we should wait until, like, they might be in bed.
It sounds like,
I will say, have bars on the doors, and it's not a lockpick. They're great big bars.
I might want to sneak in before. I don't know,
What you could do is you
the
could
church
just
is
turn into a
closed.
spider and then pop up on the other side and lift up the restraints on the door.
Are we set on trying it tonight?
Well, I think we're all ready.
Yeah, I mean,
You go lay down.
Sooner the
No.
better, I think.
yeah.
I know that spellcasting can be a bit taxing. This invisibility that you can do, would using that on me before I go in be too taxing? Would that leave you too
I didn't
To
even
open?
use one. I have
Oh.
3 options.
excellent? I like that.
Before we try that, because
Yes?
I know you are limited in your shape changing, might I try something first?
All right. I'm open to ideas.
Yeah. I have the capability to mold the elements to some degree, and these doors are made of stone, so I may be able to shift their inner shape just enough to release the metal bars, that they do not serve their purpose.
All right, that sounds like excellent idea, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Molding
Screw the rest of it,
stone,
let's do that.
good skill to put on that resume. Oh,
You're like, BT dubs, we could just do this, you know?
Did you happen to see the
You could
configuration
just
when
walk
you
up
were
to the side of
inside?
the church, and then you could just stone mold the door.
And also, if I do this from the outside, of course, if something goes wrong and the bar drops, we hear the sound and we flee and we were never here. So,
Well, what I was thinking, Godwin might be able to turn into a spider, undo, take the bar down. But if he wants to save that, we
that was
could.
that was my thought.
I think it might be good to have eyes on the inside before we try to infiltrate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Make sure that the room's clear. I mean, they've got to sleep. How many priests did we all see?
3, right?
4 in
I don't know.
total. The
Yeah,
2 in
3
the
or
pews,
4?
the bishop, and then the dude reading.
Well, what's
Given the
kind of the
size.
idea that we get as far as like clergy members? Did it seem like there was lots of them walking around? Or...
Tyler was off by 1. You've seen 3. You've got the bishop. You've got the priest that Tyler talked to earlier, and then the one that Tyler had just seen that was helping.
Given the size of the place, though, would it be logical, do you think, to assume that there might be a couple more we haven't seen?
You would think it would be logical to assume that there would be more than.
I was in that room.
You
How many
were-
beds were there? There were 8 beds.
There were 8
4
beds.
8 beds.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
At max, what I see
Well, there you go.
was 8 beds. Maybe the head priest has his own room. Maybe 9 in total.
All right, I think still not sure when they're even going to close this all up.
I can just go ask them.
That's an excellent idea. Go and do that.
Don't be like, so what kind? Case closed.
I just turn around, walk through the door, and as I kind of do, I kind of give a knock.
Okay. And you walk through.
Does the priest,
Yeah,
turn around?
you see the priest standing up, closing the book, turn around, and he approaches you.
I kind of put my hand up. Sorry, I don't mean to bother. I don't know if churches or temples are done after these sermons. I'm so new to this.
No. The temple's never closed. There is always a priest on duty inside, just in case a lost soul wanders in.
Do they just
We have
kind of
shifts.
sit and wait? Okay.
We have
I was
shifts.
gonna say that seems awful boring.
It can be. It's why we have a nice library. We read a lot. We study.
Oh yes.
Transcript. We learn.
Fair enough. It's almost like a midnight school session, if you would.
Yes. The only time that the doors are locked and barred is once for cleaning. Usually once a day we clean the temple, and then we reopen it. That's why the doors were barred there earlier. We were cleaning the temple out. Is there anything
Okay.
else I can help you with?
No, I was just curious to see if there was I'm so used to businesses and things like that having opening and closing, except for like inns.
Oh no,
So I
not
just didn't know if the temples do.
no, not here. We want to accept all children at all hours.
Aye. Good to hear.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If there's not anything else, I'm going to go back to my book. And he turns and walks back up to the nearest pew and sits down.
And I turn and lightly close the door and like kind of briefly kind of jog over to my party. And I let them know that they have shifts and things like that. And I kind of look at them all and I'm like, and that guy might be a little tired tonight.
Good to know.
All right. Terry, you said it's late afternoon. Is it sunset? Sunset? Has the sun
Evening.
sat?
The sun is getting close to setting. It's about to start
It's
setting.
set.
It hasn't sat yet.
It has
though.
not sat
Wait,
yet.
I thought that's when temples started. Was when the sun
Oh,
was.
yeah, you
Normally,
did say that.
normally temples
okay.
would started, but you guys brought in a very large crowd of people into the
Fair
temple.
enough. It's early sermon, apparently.
Yes.
No wonder you're so stressed. It's not even about the stupid amulet. Okay.
When they were pushing the statues around, was it really loud?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
loud. Yeah, it was. It's not
Oh.
quiet.
So
God.
how are we gonna be sneaky?
Well, and they pushed greed or pride all the way back.
They pushed Pride all the
Yeah.
way back up.
That's so
Yeah.
far.
And it-
I let them know that that's something.
I wonder if it would be possible with my earth
Stone
molding
shape.
to move the
Mhm.
statue more stealthily.
Well,
Worth a try.
I was kind of thinking that you might be able to use that to blockade them in their living
Oh,
quarters.
what we could
Make a
do-
stone
take part
wall.
of the wall and just set it.
What was that?
Can we,
Tyler?
dude? Can we just
Take part of the
break the
wall.
altar? Smash open that altar. Go straight down.
Actually,
could
yes,
stone
we have
mold the
several
altar.
possibilities. If we're left alone, yeah, I could see if I could trigger the mechanism to move the altar without even moving the statue. It might
I
just be
mean-
a weight thing.
I really want this to be a last resort kind of thing. I do have this, and it's not guaranteed to work. I'm kind of let them know kind of like what the spell is and kind of what it does.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right. It's a nice disable ability that you've got there. Interesting spell.
Kind of just jam on the violin in a really awkward manner, and it's just kind of unpleasant for all folks around.
Heh.
Is that gonna fuck with our brains?
I mean, technically yes, but aren't you guys my friends anyways?
Well, it says, while charmed by this spell, which we would have to save against, we are incapacitated and have a speed of 0.
So
Yeah,
stay
keep
away.
I mean, if I run towards them
So
with
if
my
I-
violin out,
so if you
go
stop.
the other way.
Alrighty. So it
I
seems we have
mean,
several
again, like
possibilities.
I was saying, it's a last resort. Just gonna suicide bomb my way to victory.
Suicide fiddle.
Mm-hmm. But I think maybe how many times can you stone melt?
This is a cantrip, so I can do one action every 6 seconds. So I can move quite a bit of stone or dirt in a reasonable amount of time.
Can
That
you
sounds
link
amazing.
that? Can you link that, please?
Yeah.
It's like hell to yeah. Of loose.
Within a 5-foot cube.
Okay.
Yeah, which means it's
It's
not a
not.
huge
It's not
amount,
the
but
one
over
that Ethan
time.
has. It's
Okay. So it doesn't
Oh.
say that you cannot remove stone.
It says you can move stone.
Does
Yeah,
it say?
a portion of dirt or stone that you can see within range.
You're reading that if it's loose dirt, it's instant,
Yeah.
which is just like its own separate mechanic. If you're just
Wow.
moving dirt, you can literally just trench this 5-foot thing every. So you see the duration there is instantaneous or 1 hour. Well, I guess the casting time is still 1 action.
No, it doesn't say anything about moving stone, actually. You choose a portion of dirt or stone that you can see within range that fits in a 5-foot cube. You can manipulate it in one of the following means. Loose earth you can instantly evacuate. You cause shape, colors, or both to appear on dirt or stone, spelling out words, creating images, or shaping patterns. If this dirt or stone you target is on the ground, you cause it to become difficult terrain. Alternatively, you can cause the ground to become normal terrain.
Yeah, you might need like shape earth
You
or
need
something to
shape
do
earth.
what
I
we're
think-
kind of thinking.
like ones where
Good
you just-
thought. That was a really good thought.
Wall of earth, whatever it is that Ethan fucking used.
Yeah.
Wall of stone.
Yeah, there's like stronger variants at higher levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe it's move earth.
something.
That's old earth.
Okay,
Oh,
so I guess that option's kind of a little. I mean, bring a bunch of dirt in.
We'll save it.
Don't mind us. We're just bringing some dirt in for the. Well, we're burying you alive. Here you go. So I guess since Lucifer went it. Oh wait, you came back out.
Yeah, I've already come back.
That's
out.
right. All right, and you closed the door. So I think I'm gonna
Yep.
check the door out and just like how. Well, he said it's open, so we're not. That's no longer the issue. Trying to break
No.
in, apparently.
No, it's not.
So I guess we just need to figure out how we're going to handle the following situation of taking out whoever the priest is.
One thing we could do is push the door open a little bit, try to lure him to the door, grab him, silence him,
Silence somehow.
gag. However
Alright.
however we're feeling, I can put him.
You said that moving these stony. I mean, I don't know. Do we just go into the back areas where they're sleeping and just bind them and just get rid of that problem right there? I don't. What are you all thinking?
We
I
could
mean-
barricade the doors.
Yeah, we
Lock
can
'em
at
in?
least block them in and then hogtie this guy.
Yeah.
Just throw them behind the door and block them
I
in
mean-
too, I guess.
As like a background, how do priests fight? Like as a background, would we know that? Like, are they?
Are they like warrior priests? Or
No,
they
these
just,
are
like-
not clerics or paladins. They are priests.
Yeah, so they're pretty frail for the most part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would we know,
The
like,
one that
their-
you talked to even said that he had tried to become. He thought about becoming a paladin, realized he didn't have the stomach for battle. That's why he chose the priesthood.
So we can just throw this guy over our shoulder, walk to the other guys, throw him in the room, and then lock him.
I mean, that's a lot of assumptions, but sure.
We can try anyway.
Yeah, you guys can more than welcome to try.
So to describe this, just
Operation.
from our memory, so how was the door layout inside of here, inside of the?
So you
Right,
had
like
you had the main double doors that you walk through, and then you had the statues along the side.
Yep.
On the left-hand side, halfway down, that's where this door that Lucifer and the priest went through.
Okay.
Went through a short hallway, and turned
Oh.
into a large bedroom with 8 beds.
Okay.
And then directly behind the altar, there was a door with a hallway that led to the bishop's chambers.
And that's where
That's where
that's
you
the
had.
hallway that I went.
Yep.
Okay, but those were the only 2 doors.
Those were the only 2 doors that you have
There are
seen.
3 doors.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I think we might just fucking go in here and do it.
I think so too.
I will
God.
follow your lead.
You know, put a person. We got to move this statue, so we should probably use our strong boys moving that statue around. Who's strong here? Who can push stuff?
I am
cross
very
my-
strong and
I
large.
cross my arms and just go.
I'll try.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I-
shake
I-
my head. No.
I can push, pull, and
Very
drag
strong.
twice what a normal person of my size can because I've got a Loxodon.
All right, you're definitely on pushing duty.
Yeah.
I mean, I can always help, but I'm just not the greatest.
All right. Well, I can kind of imagine that. Well, we want one person on each door. After we take out whoever's obviously not a brutal way, just disable him. And then just put a person on each door. Make sure they aren't, coming in. Do what we can to keep them out. They do break it in, disable them as well. So I guess Trudy, me, and Vayu, we'll move the statue back. Sound good?
Sounds
Sky,
like a
you've
good
been
plan
quiet
to
over
me.
there. You think you got a door?
Yeah, I think so. I do
mean, if
also
anything-
have mage hand, so if I needed to was there anything inside that could have barricaded the room?
There are pews.
I can lift up to 10 pounds though. Is only.
Oh,
all.
these are long wooden. These are the long wooden
right.
pews.
But
so
I mean from the
Lay down.
I guess
Lay
it
down.
with the room where they're all where their beds are. That's what we're talking about barricading, right?
I was thinking barricading the hallways that are coming into the main chamber.
Okay.
Okay.
like the doors leading to the hallways.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we didn't
So
all
it's-
Makes sense.
close.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no reason to because if they're just in there
That's
sleeping
true.
or whatever, that will
Yeah, let's do our stuff.
as we're
Right,
slamming
well,
against
Right.
these doors
Right.
or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
I can see how
this-
heavy the pews are and just start fucking.
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
maybe we just throw a couple of them on each one to
Yep.
start out to just put that first little barricade up and
Definitely.
And I mean,
Start
whoever
pushing.
gets close, I can just try and charm them.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever makes it through. Just
oh,
try
that's a
and-
good idea. All right,
All right, you guys got your plan together.
I think so.
All right. So as you guys have made this plan and are getting ready to head into the temple to start it, let's
I
take
think we
our
might
break.
also wait a little
A little bit.
later into the evening because
Mhm.
I think it might be good to
Yeah.
let the priest finally wind down and go to sleep.
I
When
think
dark
closer
breaks
to
in.
like the midnight area
Yeah.
might
You
be a
thinking-
better plan.
You thinking midnight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
for the most
dark and,
sleepy time.
and cold. Whoever's been on their current shift has been there a couple hours already, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all nice and
Like a
quiet.
novel.
All right.
Super.
Well, let's
Yes.
we'll pick up from there then after our break. So let's do with a 10-minute break. So let's meet back at let's do
10:20.
10, 20, 21.
All right.
Okay.
All right, sound good?
All right.
All right. We'll see you
Look at
guys.
that bling on Sam's hand.
Bam bam. Let me switch it over. Boom. sec, guys. Okay, we're actually ending the stream now, the video now. We had somebody with a family emergency. So we'll pick back up next Friday. Alright, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Adios.
Bye, guys.
Bye.